Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be showcasing a legendary champion called Vasal of the Seal, and this champion is only available in the hard Doom Tower secret rooms. So if you're up to date with your secret rooms, then today will be the day to collect them, I believe. So before we begin though, I do want to give a huge thank you and shout out to Chiefs Nation. Thank you so much for letting me showcase this champion on your account. So we are going to be taking a look at his kit and trying him in various areas in the game to see where he might be best useful, as well as changing up his gear setup. So let's get right into it. Okay, so Vasal of the Seal once again is a legendary champion. He is an HP based champion and he's from the Demonspawn Faction. As far as his looks and aesthetics, he just looks really cool. Like there's something about lava, fire that just really sticks out to me, particularly Sisia. But this is really cool looking in his own right. He's got like a molten lava going on behind him, very similar to, I guess, an Akoth in a sense. Yeah, but just more visible and not, I guess like the lava's not really bursting out or flames is bursting out. But really cool looking champion. Definitely unique, I'd say, for the most part. And he's got like lava blood. Probably like lava like bleeding from his eyes. It looks like we're just, yeah, just, maybe he's crying. Maybe he's crying, guys. But yeah, really cool looking champion. But yeah. Really awesome. Alright, for the A1, attacks one enemy, places an HP burn debuff on the target for 2 turns if they are under a true fear debuff or decrease attack debuff. Also places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns equal to 10% of their max HP, and it looks like you could increase the damage a bit with books. Okay, so nothing really too impressive. There is a requirement on this right here, but HP burn on the A1 is always cool, and he puts a shield on himself from the A1, so I guess that's something. Alright, onto the A2. Attacks all enemies has a 75% chance of placing a true fear debuff and a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Okay, so that's where that's coming from. And if you can increase it to 100% chance, fully booked, it'll go to a 3-turn cooldown. So I am curious how much this nukes. It is as AoE hitting ability, so we'll see that too later. And for the A3, balances the HP of all allies. The HP levels of all allies will be brought up to the level of the ally with the highest HP. Okay, after balancing HP, grants an extra turn. Alright, cool. So he's got kind of like a Senesha ability right here, and he gets an extra turn after that. So that's pretty cool. And onto the passive ability. Legion of Doom receives 20% less damage from champions from the Bannerlord, High Elf, Sacred Order factions. If there are 2 or more Demonspawn champions on the team alongside this champion, increases the crit damage of all Demonspawn champions on the team by 20%. Okay, crit damage increase only works when this champion is alive. Interesting. So if you were to take advantage of this, the second part of it at least, let's say, I'm trying to think of other demon spawns you would run alongside this kind of champion. So let's just take Candy for example. So we got him for like as a nuker, and then I guess we could put in like Duchess for the attack up. There's not a whole lot of slots you can really utilize this in like other areas besides Faction Wars, but this is definitely helpful for Faction Wars at the very least. Yeah. So I mean, this is pretty much made for Faction Wars, this part right here. And receives less damage from champions from Bannerlord, High Elves, and Sacred Order faction. Okay, so far the takeaway I have is, depending on how much he nukes here, he's kind of like an in-between hybrid of a champion, sort of. So he's going to be great for Faction Wars at the very least, right? But I hope that's not all it is, right? Because as far as like the amount of time you have to spend trying to farm up all those fragments to get to this point, to get a Vasal, like at that point you're already done with Faction Wars, and that's not really where you want to say, okay, yes, I finally got a Vasal, and that's where he's going, Faction Wars, right? That's not where our mind should be at, right? We want to use him in more places and also see potential from like Doom Tower and whatnot. So let's go over to the rest of his kit. And for the aura, he has increases ally HP in all battles by 33%. And for the base stats, 21,315 HP, 870 attack, that doesn't matter at all, 1,288 defense, a base speed of 98, not that fast, crit rate of 15%, crit damage 50%, resistance of 40, and accuracy of 20. So I am interested in how hard he hits, but I don't imagine it's going to be too much. So I'm going to gear him in Savage gear, and I am curious about his animation as well, so let's take a look at that. Alright, so I did regear him in Savage set, and here are the stats for him at the moment. We got over 93,000 HP. The attack doesn't matter at all here. The defense is 2500, 176 speed, 273 crit damage. We are crit capped here, and 167 resistance and accuracy 161. So based off of the attack down of fear, I guess you do want to build some accuracy into him, but right now I'm just curious about his damage. And he is fully booked out as well. And for the masteries, so normally when I build a damage dealing champion for arena particularly, I would definitely go down the offense and the defense tree, but this doesn't really matter to me right now, and I was just curious to see how much more accuracy I can get out of him, so I threw him in this. So most offensive nukers that I use for arena, I would typically build them this way, especially with the opportunities. If you're running a Kaimar or Siphi, this is definitely nice. And all the way down to the House Smasher. Alright, so I am curious what his animation looks like. Probably not the best affinity as far as damage goes, but I'm not really concerned about the damage here. We just want to see what kind of animation he does. So for the A2, his AoE ability, let's see what this does. At 1 time speed. Okay, pretty cool tornado-like ability there. And it's very similar to, we've seen that before, but it's just a different shade of color. I think the one we've seen is like bluish. So nothing we haven't seen before. And for the A1, okay, we've definitely seen something like that before. So nothing too unique about as far as like the abilities goes, like animation wise. And for this one, pretty typical, I bet. Yeah, okay. Alright, so that's pretty much the animation. I'm going to take him over to Dragon to see what kind of damage output he does. Alright, so for Dragon 25, I just put together a bunch of random champions to see what kind of maximum damage we can get out of this guy. And we have the HP aura lead with the Vasal, the crit damage increase from the Mashaled, the increased damage from the Gerbtuk, and the Lydia defense down weaken, and the Kaimar for the reset just in case. So let's see what kind of damage he does here. Alright, so starting with the Kaimar, we'll just go with the A1 here, and we're going to increase our damage. Defense down weaken. Okay, we didn't land anything over there. That's a bit unfortunate, but that's alright. So we got the crit damage increase here as well. And let's go with, okay, let's just land it on her. Okay, here we go. So the A2 Infernal Darkness AoE attack. Let's go at 1 time speed, and hopefully it is amazing. Let's see. Let's see what happens. 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's a bit underwhelming if I have to be completely honest. If it was like a double hit, then I'd say it's pretty impressive, but yeah, a single target, I mean, one hit with the AoE like that is not too impressive. So let's try and see, let's try that one more time with the reset here. Let's run it back. Okay, increase. Throw another defense that we can. We'll try to land it on her now. Perfect. More increase. Okay. I could put them to sleep there, but I just want to see like this. Alright, here we go. At 1 time speed one more time. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I mean, considering what I have him geared with, it's not too impressive. The damage is not good enough. Yeah, so as far as damage wise, that is not where his bread and butter is. So I don't even see a point of taking him into arena to test him out there. As far as his damage output, I don't think that's the way to go for this guy. Alright, so I did completely rebuild Vasal of the Seal, and I built him in more of like a utility standpoint. So accuracy is a heavy focus here, mainly for Doom Tower. And it's a little bunch, but it's definitely more than enough. So we do have him a Relentless set and a Perception, and the stats I have on him are 80,000 HP. Again, the attack doesn't matter. 2,900 defense, 236 speed, 207 resistance. The crit rate and crit damage doesn't matter too much here. Accuracy is 426, and the masteries we redid him with is this right here. As far as the second to last right here, we have Lasting Gifts. There wasn't really much else to go with. And we do get an extra buff that we can get from the A1 that he does with the shield. So it can proc right there. And yeah, so we went down the War Master route because we're mainly focusing on PvE. So that's what we want here. So basically, you just want to get back to your rotation really quickly with the A2 and A3 to be able to control the waves with this. And this is actually really good against the boss fights as well. For the attack down, the True Fear won't work there. But as far as the, yeah, and just to keep your team alive. So this will come in handy as well. Unfortunately, Demonspawn Faction is down right now, so I'm not able to showcase him there. But as far as like Doom Tower, you can definitely use his True Fear, his attack down, that'll come in handy, and just being able to keep the team alive with this A3 is really nice. But if I'm being totally honest, guys, the fact that you have to grind so hard to get to all the secret rooms at the end to get to this guy, right? It's a lot, right? It's a lot. So where is he best utilized? Faction Wars. If I'm being totally honest with you, it's definitely Faction Wars. The problem is, like, at that point, by the time you get this guy, you're way past Faction Wars. And like, what are you really trying to do with him at that point? So if I'm being honest, guys, I'm very underwhelmed by this champion. I hate to say it, but this guy definitely needs a buff. And recent Doom Tower champions have been not too, yeah, they're not popping too much, if I'm being honest. So usually I am pretty optimistic, and the way I will stay optimistic is this guy will get a buff eventually, right? Wishful thinking. This guy will get a buff eventually, and he will do great things. Wink, wink. Hopefully, right? Because I want it to be more utilized. Like, just how cool he looks. I hope he is more than, you know, what he has right here. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you guys see something that I don't. But just like the amount of grind you have to put into the secret rooms to get to this guy, it's so far along that it just, you know, you want, like, by the time you get there and you get to this guy, you want it to be special, right? You want it to be really special. So for now, guys, if I'm being totally honest with you, do not invest your book into this guy. I don't see where he's going to be like amazing for you at this point. So at the end of the day, is this champion worth it? I think they just got the champion totally wrong. So it looks like they intended him to be amazing for Faction Wars, but he's not even a great affinity, because this right here is really good against Valk, right? But Valk is a spirit affinity, so weak affinity for him as well. So I'm not really sure what they were thinking there, but yeah. Chiefs Nation, I appreciate you for letting me hop on your account and do the showcase for this champion. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this showcase. And if you enjoy my content in general, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video.